Hi there, my name's John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where I take a look at the lectionary text and I tie him to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage or some other random place. That's how we've been doing it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way, and more importantly, thank you for the love that you are sharing with your kids and your congregations and your families. Sometimes our congregations forget to tell us, so I am here to tell you, you are rocking it. Thank you. Man, this last week, this week, I mentioned last week that I'm in that 25-year anniversary month, if you will, but this week, December 5th, Thursday. I'm recording this on Monday to get this up I'm running a little late. I normally record them the week before, but this is for the 8th. I'm recording it on Monday, and yesterday and Sunday we had a celebration. Zion had a celebration for my 25th anniversary, and I tell you what, I feel loved. It was amazing. I'm very thankful for congregation I've been serving for half my ordained life. I've been here 12 and a half years, and God's still moving. We're still got stuff to do, so it's exciting. Anyway, so thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You are rocking it, and you make a difference, so thank you. All right, this is for the second Sunday of Advent. It's the peace candle, so you could draw into that. You're lighting the second candle to talk to the kids about what the second candle is, a peace. The end of the reading, one of the readings, it could be the gospel or it could be the psalm, because for the Advent season, the psalm is out of Luke. So one of those ends with peace, and that image. So maybe the question is, what does peace look like? So one of the springboards I'm looking at is preparing. John the Baptist, prepare the way of the Lord, make the path straight, pull down the hills, rise the valleys. It's basically imagery of getting ready for royalty, someone of importance, the king, to come in. When a king in the chariot, way back in the olden days, way back then, the idea of shocks, the idea of something in a vehicle to make the path smooth and an easy ride just did not exist. So one of the thoughts is that if you have royalty coming, you fill in the potholes, you fill in all of those bumps and crannies and all of that. I don't know what that means, but anyway, so that imagery of preparing the way, that's the imagery I get. But when we have someone coming into our house, how do we prepare the way? How do we make them know? How do we make our guests realize that they belong and they are welcomed? What are some of the things we do? We have a guest, we make sure that we have clean towels, we've got those folded, maybe an extra tube of toothpaste in case you forgot it, finding out what their favorite beverage is so that you have that in the refrigerator. One of the memes I saw recently was when you mentioned to your grandparents once that you like orange juice, and the refrigerator is packed with orange juice because they want you to know that you are loved and you belong there. So how do we prepare? How do we prepare that when a guest would come, that this would be a peaceful, we have making peace, but also the feeling of this is peaceful. So we've got those directions. I'm just checking because there's so many things. How do we prepare? Oh, and we could bring that. How do we prepare for the guest at our home? But how do we prepare for the guests at our congregation? That with the Lord's table, with communion, how do you let them know that everyone belongs at the table? In my tradition, the ELCA, I am not the gatekeeper. I welcome people to the table, and it is God's gift and God's grace. It is not Zion's table. It's not the Lutheran table. It is Christ's table, and all belong there. So how do we make that clear? Some congregations I know have only gluten-free bread, which I really like that idea, and I keep playing with that idea in my head, because that way you don't have to, you're not separating one or the other. Here's the gluten-free. But even taking the time and going, we have a gluten-free option. I know, you get around the table and you get pastors and that chatting, and so we can complain about everything and anything. I love the fact that the table can get as welcoming as possible, and how that looks can change. And anyway, so we welcome those who belong at the table, and P.S. those who belong is everyone. So that's one direction. The other direction, actually on my drive in today, I was listening to By the Well, which is a lectionary-based podcast from the land of the Down Under. I believe that's how they put it. It's from Australia, and they are amazing. I love listening to By the Well. So driving in, they reminded me that the first reading out of Malachi reminded me of what Malachi means. Like many of the prophets, the minor prophets and prophets that we get a name, like Jeremiah, Malachi's not a name. It's more of a title, more of a description. And Malachi is Hebrew for my messenger. So that my messenger, so you could lift that up to talk about Malachi, that word means my messenger. You've got John the Baptist, who is the messenger, and a messenger of good news. And we get to be the messengers of good news. So the springboard for that is flashback to Blue's Clues, and I have this image of having an over-the-shoulder bag, like a mail carrier delivery bag, playing the part of that. And I'm actually thinking of my son, who's 22 years old now, but when he was about 4 or 5, he loved to deliver mail, where he would get all the junk mail from his grandma Sherry and Papa Wayne, and get all the junk mail, and he would go around and he would deliver the mail. And I think of Blue's Clues, we just got a letter, we just got a letter, we just got a letter, I wonder who it's from. And so, this whole imagery of being the messenger. And I love that imagery. So the springboard of the springboard is at the Dollar Tree or anywhere you can get greeting cards. Maybe you make your own, but you get your pack of 10, 20, 30, 40. Man, if you have 40 kids, bless you, my friend. So getting a whole bunch of greeting cards, and writing you are loved, and you don't even, if you know who's going to be there, you can label them, but you can label them God's child, and each kid gets one. If you're feeling rambunctious, you can make them for the entire congregation. That's a lot. So, but that imagery of the message, we are messengers, the congregation is messengers, about how we bring that message of good news to the world. So those are the springboards. I think that's enough. That's enough. I like the Malachi one. That's where the direction I'm going. And if you haven't checked out By the Well, it is a podcast that is definitely worth your time, and it really helps in my sermon prep. So, all right. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for your partnership in this ministry. And again, thank you for the love that you are sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You are rocking it. All right. Peace. We will see you next week.